Welcome back. Mozambique's former finance minister Manuel Chang will know his extradition fate this week. The High Court in Johannesburg is set to rule whether Chang will be extradited to Mozambique or the United States. Chang has been in a South African prison since December 2018. In August, Justice Minister Ronald Lamola decided to extradite Chang to Mozambique. But Mozambique's anti-corruption watchdog, an NGO known as the Forum for Monitoring the Budget, brought an urgent application to stop Chang's extradition to Mozambique. Minister Lamola is reportedly defending South Africa's decision to extradite Chang to Mozambique, where the Forum believes he will enjoy immunity from prosecution. Chang is accused of having signed off on $2 billion of secret international bank loans. There is an indictment against him in the US, while 19 people are currently on trial in Maputo regarding their role in this secret debt. The Johannesburg High Court's ruling is expected on Wednesday. Now, on Friday, here on the Midday View, I spoke to the forum's chairman, Adriano Nuvunga, who expressed confidence that the court will rule in their favor.
We definitely believe that the judge will do justice. The fact that he asked Minister Lamola to render the process where he made the decision, it's part of the justice being done by the South African justice. Here, we believe, as FMO, that the judge, he will extradite Chang to the States because Mr. Changi is a potential witness and he does not qualify to be extradited because only convicted people, on those who are going to stand trial, they can be considered in the position of being extradited. That's the case of Manuel Chang.
Okay, so you're confident that come Wednesday, the Johannesburg High Court will rule in favor of your application and extradite Mr. Chang to the US and not to Mozambique?
Absolutely, that Mr. Changi will not come to Mozambique next week.
Well, I'm now joined by Daily Maverick's Peter Fabricius to discuss the latest developments about this case. Peter, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View on eNCA. I saw the article you wrote for the Daily Maverick saying that Minister Lamola, in fact, when he made the decision to extradite Manuel Chang to Mozambique earlier, which is now being challenged in court, he didn't even listen to his own legal team. Just share with our viewers, what do you know about that?
Yeah, hi Dan. Yeah, that's what has emerged in the affidavit presented by that organisation, represented by Mr. Nuvunga, who you spoke to now. What they discovered was I guess you could almost call it a secret dossier that hadn't been in the original submission of Minister Lamola to the court. But they then discovered it. And basically all the advice of his top officials was that he should extradite Mr. Chang to the US. And it's not really that surprising. It was very clear for us for many months that that's what Lamola was arguing for in the cabinet, arguing for with President Ramaphosa. Against another faction in the cabinet, you were arguing for Chang to be extradited to Mozambique.
So Ronald Lamosa's position sort of has shifted over time, and this secret memorandum or dossier, as you say, has shown that the original position would have been to extradite him to the US.
Yeah, I should be wary. I say secret in quotations. I mean, it's part of the record, but it didn't appear in the original submission. Yeah, look, I think that my guess is that basically Lamola has been overruled by President Ramaphosa, who has some other reason to want to extradite Chang to Mozambique, probably just to keep on good terms with Frelimo. It might be related to the insurgency in Cabo Delgado and whether or not SADC and South Africa would be allowed to send troops in there. There's some extraneous factor at work here.
Yeah, it looks like there's some politics that's playing out that we might not find. But you heard Mr. Adriano Nuvunga, whom I spoke to on Monday. He's a chairman of that forum, the NGO, the anti-corruption watchdog from Mozambique. They're pretty much confident. Do you think they're deriving their confidence from the documents you've seen as you follow this case at the Johannesburg High Court? They're deriving their confidence from, among other things, this memorandum, which was not tabled before, but now it has come out in the public.
Yeah, I think that is possibly a factor in their confidence. Yeah, I mean, look, their documentation also shows that they don't think that Mozambique has made a case that really, gives one confidence that Mozambique will probably prosecute him and in a court of law, because there's still some questions about immunity and so on, which have not been probably clarified. Look, I mean, I think this case presents a difficult decision to the court, because the courts don't really like to do the job of the executive. And so they would be somewhat reluctant to tell, President Ramaphosa's government that he must extradite Chang to the US. But it's difficult to see what else they can do at this point, if indeed it stands up in court that Mozambique has not really made a very good case that he will be properly prosecuted. Because the last time this happened in November 2019, you may recall, the same court, the High Court, decided to send the decision back to the Minister of Justice for decision. But it's hard to see how that would be helpful now, because we've been through all that before. We've the new facts have come to light that Chang enjoyed immunity, which was not taken into consideration by Lamola's predecessor, and now you think that the court basically has to either agree that he goes to Mozambique or he goes to the US, not to subject it to another round of doubts and uncertainty at the hands of the minister.
Yeah, especially because, the gentleman in question, former Finance Minister Manuel Chang, has been in a South African jail since December 2018. Yeah. And meanwhile, the issue at hand that he's accused of having signed off on is center stage in Mozambique's biggest corruption trial since independence in 1975, involving those $2 billion of those secret international bank loans. Plus, he's got an indictment against him in the US.
Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, he is wanted, as you probably would know, as a witness in that case that's underway at the moment in Maputo, of 19 other officials who were indicted on that same scandal, really. And in fact, there was some suggestion that he was wanted to appear as an accused, but one understands that to the extent that there is a process against him, it's a separate one from that. But and of course he's indicted in the US, and the position of the FMO is that is a more plausible indictment. They believe that that the US will bring all the facts to light against him. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have to wait now for Wednesday for the High Court here, the 15th of September, to make its decision. And because, the anti-corruption watchdog, the Forum for Monitoring the Budget, does not believe he will be prosecuted properly and that justice will seem to be done properly in Mozambique. We have to wait and see. Thank you very much, Peter, for sharing that latest information that you have for us about that memorandum now that has come to light, that showed that originally the Justice Minister, Ronald Lamola, supported or was advised, rather, let me use those words very carefully, was advised legally that Mr. Chang should be extradited to the United States. Will the court make that decision or send it back to President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa and Ronald Lamola, the Justice Minister? We'll have to wait and see for Wednesday here in the Johannesburg High Court.